This was Grant Tracy's dream. He started with one store in Seattle and had this vision of what Glass Doctor could be. Later on, his son had the vision of being a franchisor. So Grant told his son, "You can do this, but go east of the Mississippi." So his son went east of the Mississippi into Norcross, Georgia, and he started to franchise. In fact, our franchisee in Atlanta right now, Jim Bernstein, is in that original store in Norcross.
By buying the original shop from the founder, we definitely did have some benefits. The Glass Doctor jingle was played on the radio a lot through the 1980s. As a matter of fact, when I was in high school, I remember it. When we started asking people when we were looking at the Glass Doctor, had they heard of Glass Doctor, they would recite the jingle. Our jingle is very, very powerful. And so we knew the phones were ringing. So the fact that there was awareness was a great advantage for us. A couple months into it, we got a phone call, and the ISR that was working with me came in and said, "This guy says he wants to talk to you." And I got on the phone, it was, "Hey, do you know who I am?" And it was a gentleman named Grant Tracy. He was the founder of Glass Doctor. And I had known of him. So it was really, I got a kick out of it. I mean, he acted like he owned the place, and frankly, in his mind, he still did. You know, this was his legacy. And I actually invited him to lunch. And we went out to lunch, and it was great to talk to him and to see the vision he had about the mobile glass shop on wheels.
In 1997, I remember my brother Donald Dwyer Jr. was at a trade show, and somebody from the Glass Doctor had approached him about whether or not the Dwyer Group would have an interest in acquiring Glass Doctor. So he brought that news back to Robert Tunmeyer, who was our CEO of the Dwyer Group at the time. And from there, Robert just dug in and started exploring it. And as a team, we collectively decided that this was the right opportunity for us. And I remember when we acquired Glass Doctor, we had just closed the deal, and then we had an annual reunion coming up. So we invited the Glass Doctor franchisees to that reunion. And I remember many of them saying to me that it felt like they were in a dream. They weren't accustomed to having support. It had been many years since they had really felt the support coming from the franchisor proactively. I think it's a great combination of having Portland Glass and the Glass Doctor. Because Portland Glass is a sister company, we have an opportunity to test and experiment with some of the ideas that we're trying to bring into the Glass Doctor network without first introducing it, without having really done a good job testing it. So I think Portland Glass is just a great complement to the Glass Doctor brand. Mark Dawson came in to lead the Glass Doctor. Mark was a franchisee of Glass Doctor when we first acquired it in 1998. And Mark was so passionate about the business we had built and the relationships we had built at the time we acquired Glass Doctor that he didn't want to see the Harmon acquisition take us backwards. Instead, Mark invested himself in selling his franchise and then coming to Waco, Texas to help take Glass Doctor to the next level. And again, thanks to a group of key folks at the corporate headquarters of the Dwyer Group, along with key franchisees of Glass Doctor, today we're led now by Mark Liston, who has a tremendous amount of franchising expertise and also a real love for our code of values. So Mark's the right guy at the right time to take Glass Doctor to another whole new level.
Dwyer Group is a world-class organization. When it comes to franchising and supporting franchisees, that's what they're all about. It starts with a training program that's second to none, and then a sure start support process that helps new franchisees get going. And then behind the scenes, there's a group of franchise consultants that work with franchisees from a 30,000-foot level and making sure that they're following the system and building their business just as it has.
As I think about the growth of Glass Doctor over the years since 1998, I just want to say a big thank you to our franchisees. Without you, we wouldn't be where we are today, and we're truly grateful.